Welcome back to the Fanema Movie Podcast, episode 11. It is boy E here with G. How you doing, G? You ready to talk about all things movies?
Yeah, I'm ready to hear.
How ready would you say you are, though, on a scale of, let's say, 1 to Bob Zemeckis?
Well, clearly after that last statement, I would say Bob Zemeckis.
Okay, so we got a full... Wow, I'm pretty pumped now that you had to bring Bob Zemeckis into it like that. I was expecting maybe a 4 or 5, judging by the way you entered the building today. But I'm at about as Bob Zemeckis as well. What does that mean? I really don't know. And I think that random bit is going to take the place of my random question for the moment, because I don't have one off the top of my head right now. So as we progress, I do think that I will give you a random question. I just don't know what it's going to be at the current moment.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of bursting at the seams to talk about something, and that is that this morning, Spider-Man Far From Home released its debut trailer, and we got a poster along with it. You got to watch it. I got to watch it, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about, how this affects what's going on with Avengers. Did it spoil anything that we don't really already know? I think not, but I also find something interesting. Now, first, initial thoughts and reactions. What do you think of the trailer? Just quick,
Oh, I loved it. It had the same exact feel of the Homecoming Spider-Man. I just loved the music.
It kind of took away, because I was pretty outspoken about, and I still wish that it took, would take place in New York, but I think that it's going to carry us enough. I was just, I really want to see Peter Parker going through this, New York skyline, but I think that there's going to be enough there. He's still a kid. I'm down with this.
Yeah, it's just from all the visual effects, the soundtrack that they use in the trailer, the feel. It's just the feel of it. It's literally
Homecoming. Yeah,
I can literally tell that this is it's just gonna bring the same sort of feelings, and
we got the same team behind it, which is great.
Yeah, and especially seeing the guy.
Yes, one of my favorite actors working, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely comic accurate as far as his look goes.
Yeah.
And one thing I love is, if you look at, because a lot of people are like, wow, he looks like he's wearing Thor's armor,
yeah.
and they poked fun at that.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe he recovered, who knows where he made the suit from. I love the idea. Now, I have a couple of questions about the thing, but let's get into what does this trailer show us?
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing that I picked up on first is that this trailer does not show any characters that we know to have been dusted.
Yeah, that's true.
So this movie takes place after Avengers Infinity War, but I have no idea what's going to happen. Does Spider-Man remember the events? Does he not? Is he even... There was a Reddit post that's going around right now about a theory where the people who got dusted didn't actually die. They just got sent to another reality, another universe, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happens in the comics, a bit different, but basically all the people dusted are living the exact same life, essentially,
mm-hmm.
but in a different universe.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't even know it. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't think so. I think whatever's happening in Far From Home is going to take place after everything's resolved.
Yeah.
But we see Nick Fury.
Oh.
Wait,
really?
you know what? He was dusted. I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He was dusted.
That's true.
So everybody we saw was either dusted or we don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't see anybody that was still around in Avengers Infinity War at the end,
mm-hmm.
which is an interesting thing to me. But moving on from that, we see an awesome kick-ass Spider-Man suit, which we had seen in stills and leaked images before and on Jimmy Kimmel. Mysterio looks fantastic. Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely one of the best actors working, and although I would love nothing more than to see him play Batman, I'll take Mysterio for now.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Now, my question for you is, do you think is that maybe the Sandman that's working with him? Maybe he's convinced some other villains to sort of stage these, because I think what I'm seeing from the story is that he's going to be having other people work with him to propel himself to being looked at as a hero.
Yeah, because I don't know specifically about Mysterio's whole...
Well, Mysterio, he's like a visual effects guy.
Yeah.
He does a lot of visual effects. It's all trickery. It's all, it's basically all visual. Yeah, he does a lot of visual tricks, And so my thing is, I have a feeling that he's going to be sort of doing, if you know who Booster Gold is from the DC universe, he comes from the future and he uses all his future tech that everybody has, but takes it to the past so that, you know, he has a leg up on everybody and fights a bunch of fake crime kind of to think about, okay, Syndrome.
Yeah.
You remember how he was on the island and
Mm-hmm.
taking care, same kind of thing.
Yeah, because that's what I was like. I guess his whole, you know, what we think his whole spiel is that he wants to be seen as a hero or something
Yeah.
like that. So
It's what it appears to be.
yeah, and I think that was we saw different forms of him, and the traditional, you know, from Spider-Man 3, the only aspect of Sandman that I got was that he only, you know, does.
I actually didn't hate the Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
I think he was
I think
probably
most
the best part.
Yeah, I think most people would agree. I think the same thing. Yeah, I loved that whole.
Yeah, he had
his
a
own
great
character.
storyline. He had a great arc.
Yeah, but then in this trailer, you know, he apparently I think he can take multiple forms. He's
Unless
like-
it's another villain who I forget, you know, whatever. I forgot his name, the water villain from Spider-Man. Hydro, I don't know what the hell his name is. But
wow.
he could be working with multiple people, or it could be somehow all visual stuff. I don't think it's going to be. I think the Sandman's in there.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be building towards a Sinister Six kind of thing, because we already got some pieces in place in the last film. And from what we have here is, you know, stay back, you don't want any part of this, or whatever he says in that line. I think this is just going to add to the ever-growing list of great Marvel villains, because that used to be a big complaint in the Marvel films. The villains are all one note, you know, they're not that special. It's all about the heroes, which was great, and I have no problem with that, you know, they're hero movies.
Yeah.
But I think now Kevin Feige's really grasped on to getting great villains, because if you look at our last couple, I really enjoyed Caecilius as a villain, and throwing Dormammu in there. I love Killmonger. I love Thanos.
Mhm.
Who else do we have? I mean, I thought that Ghost was a very interesting antagonist.
Well, hello.
Hela was pretty good.
Mhm.
No complaints there. And I think we actually may be getting more Hela very soon.
Mm.
So I think that they've really gotten a grasp onto this, because Jake Gyllenhaal is always going to bring something special to a role.
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe that Jake Gyllenhaal would just sign on because it says Marvel, you know?
Yeah.
He's not a guy that needs to do a Marvel movie. I
Mhm.
think that the script must have been intriguing enough, and the character must have been deep enough for him to sign on.
Yeah. It's just from everything from I'm seeing from this trailer, you know, Mary Jane, and seeing how
That's great.
where that direction is gonna go. You still see the same sort of jokes being made by Mary Jane.
So I have so I'm pretty. So I have value.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, she's great.
So-
Zendaya's fantastic.
yeah, and so I'm just excited because I love that about that whole, you know, like the young romance in that sort of movie was also something that I really loved and picked up on. And his friend is back. I always
Ned.
love Ned. Yep. So
People tell me I could have played Ned's stunt double.
I said that.
Okay, look. People have said that, and I want to let him know that I am actually open to it now, as I wasn't a few months ago. But now I think
I
I've
could just see when he's walking into the room and then Nick Fury.
badass.
Well, I was saying like when Nick
Oh,
Fury
and he
shoots
shoots
him,
him with a dart.
but then it's like it just cuts to him like sort of falling, and then it cuts to you actually hitting the floor.
That's, you know what? I'll take the hits. I'll take the hits.
Hey man, he's the chair guy.
Guy in the chair.
Oh yeah, he's the guy in
Yeah.
the chair.
He's his oracle.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm pumped, man. It looks like it looks great.
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. I mean, I heard in a report, it was probably last year though, that they said this is going to take place, at least begin minutes after the events of Avengers 4.
Oh my god.
So
Wow.
I wouldn't doubt it, you know, because we have a bit of a time jump in even Homecoming, how it starts with
Yeah.
the events of Civil War and then jumps forward a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get the same thing here. Peter adjusting back to life without Tony.
Oh.
Maybe. But yeah, we're gonna see in a good couple months. I'm pretty pumped. And I'm excited to see this in IMAX once we go see Captain Marvel, because
Oh yeah.
we're definitely getting that. Next up, I have a quick little one. There's not much to talk about, honestly, until Thursday.
Yeah.
But John Wick, they released a tiny teaser for the teaser, which I always find odd.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now we got to have a little trailer for the trailer.
Yeah.
But they gave us a little bit, and they gave us a new poster. And I'm pumped for John Wick. This footage didn't change anything. You
Yeah.
know? It's just showing us the same aesthetic. It's pretty much the same poster we've gotten for the last 3 films. It's a poster I'll put on my wall. It's a poster I will use as a background or on my computer. I love the poster.
Yeah.
It's just not something that it's like, because I'm already on board. I don't think that this poster is really gaining any new fans. Like, oh man, did you see that John Wick poster they released?
Yeah.
Now we got to go watch it. I didn't want to see it before, but I think that this is enough. Because it has its cult audience. It's grown quite a bit since the first release. We didn't even see the first in theater.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I was we saw it on home video.
Yeah.
Which still fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember though? Do you remember when we went to see John Wick 2 and we did a double feature that night? So we did Lego Batman and John Wick 2. And we saw Lego Batman first, and I remember and it was the first showing, opening night, there was almost nobody in there.
Yeah.
Then very next showing, we bought our 2 tickets and we just went from one theater to the next one right beside it. Went in there, John Wick, and there was like some toddlers in there. There was some kids. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Lego Batman's right next door, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Kid is terrified.
And from the scenes,
it's like 80 headshots.
Yes, some of the scenes in John Wick 2 would have you question.
Bloom.
I just always love the scene when they're in the mall area and then Common.
They're just shooting the silenced guns at each other.
Yeah, that's
great. I love the catacomb scene. Probably my favorite, I think.
Oh yeah, is that when when he goes into the club?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, he doesn't even. I guess he does shoot her in the head. He gets his target.
Yeah. Oh.
He shoots everybody in the head. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah. But no, that's it. You basically put it there in terms of me and the excitement. Yeah. It immediately had me hooked from the first movie. Just I was.
Yeah, and then the way that it's all one continuous story.
Yeah.
It's really cool because then you can have. It's like one of those movies that will be a great triple feature.
Yeah.
Because it's one epic.
Exactly.
One man story from start to finish, and it's just kind of like dropping you into his life, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He gets back into his assassin life, and it's not letting him go.
Yeah, I was about to say from towards the ending of John Wick 2, I think what was the whole what was going on in terms of the end? Is he still part of that whole?
No, he was excommunicado.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the guy, out of respect, gave him an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He has an open contract on his head.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be after John Wick.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking as we wait for the actual teaser or the whole trailer.
Yeah, the whole trailer on Thursday.
Yeah, to see what we get and.
And I don't think it's going to be anything that's still, no matter what they put in that trailer, it's not going to change my anticipation up or down, I don't think.
Yeah.
But either way, that makes me almost not want to watch it. I'm going to watch it because we're going to see it in the theater anyways.
Yeah.
But, John Wick, Thursday, trailer coming out. More exciting Tom Holland news, actually. Big week for him. It is official that Dan Trachtenberg, who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, is signed on to direct Tom Holland in the Uncharted film for Sony. Previously, we had I forget. We had someone else. We've had a couple directors on this thing.
Yeah.
But I do have a feeling that this one's gonna stick. I'm glad they still have Tom Holland signed on, because obviously when you see Tom Holland, one, Sony has a great working relationship with him.
Yeah.
He's their most bankable star right now, I'd say, and so they don't want to let him go. And so. The other thing this tells me is that they're obviously shooting for a franchise, signing a guy this young to play Nathan Drake when, he's a bit older in all the games. So, and also I think it's kind of smart, especially with a video game property. It's so hard. Clearly everybody has trouble adapting these things. So why not go younger and give us stories that we haven't necessarily seen yet?
Yeah. And with the world of Uncharted, there's many directions.
It gives you more freedom, I think,
than
trying to be like, oh, we're gonna adapt the first game, then the second, then the third. It's because then people are attached, and it gives you less freedom and all that kind of stuff.
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite video game adapted movie so far?
That's a good question. I would like to say, I mean, really thinking about it. It might be Tomb Raider.
I was about to say.
Because I love Alicia Vikander's performance in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's kind of Alicia Vikander and everybody else. And that's actually almost bad for the film to me, because it stands out how bad other people are around her.
Mm-hmm.
They really did not fill that cast out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, think about Kobe Bryant in 2006 2014 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else, you know. She shined, but she outshined everybody else so much that it was kind of it stood out. And also the story wasn't fantastic, but I will say I really enjoyed the movie just because she's one of my favorite actors. And yeah, what about you?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but
yeah, no, that's what I was thinking too. Because I'm thinking like, like Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed.
Actually, Castlevania, if that counts, Netflix anime, because it's pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But no, as far as film goes, I think it has to be Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I would say the same for the same reasons. Alicia Vikander was perfect choice to play.
Yep,
Laura.
But
yeah, with Nathan Drake and the fact that it gives they have a lot of freedom with this, and I'm wondering who the rest of the cast will be in terms of.
I hope they have a lot of freedom.
Yeah,
seems like every time a company, especially Sony, that's what makes me nervous. Sony seems to find a way to mess up every IP they have.
Yeah, and it's like they have a good opportunity here. Yeah, and it's like you have a young
bankable star.
Yeah, young bankable star Tom Holland who's killing it in the game, and just focus on the story, make the characters likable, give us a great story at least, and we'll see them in the audience when we go see it in theaters.
Yeah, and the thing that excites me is Dan Trachtenberg, because I love 10 Cloverfield Lane. And I think he does
huge.
a great job with character.
Yeah,
because that movie is almost all character,
Yeah,
and even the action is very well done in it. It's really engaging, and so I am hopeful that the bar is still low, because if Tomb Raider is the best video game adaptation of all time, because don't listen to The Rock, it definitely is not Rampage. I remember
that's the one I forgot.
We defeated the video game curse. No, you did not, sir.
Yeah,
he tweeted that out. You remember?
Wait, what?
When Rampage was released, The Rock tweeted out, he said something along the lines of, "You're welcome for defeating the video game curse." That movie was one of the worst of the year.
Oh, because I was thinking, like Rampage. That's the one I was forgetting too.
It was not good at all.
Wow, but no, that's for Dan. I think that's I don't know any of his other works, but yeah.
Well, he hasn't done much film. He's done some Black Mirror.
Oh,
he's done 10 Cloverfield Lane, and obviously, if a guy like J.J. Abrams saw something in him, to work with 10 Cloverfield Lane, to employ him for that. I think J.J. Abrams is one of the best producers of all time, to be honest, and he always is able to seek out talent very well. So if he sought him out, I believe that this is a great choice.
Yeah, and so I'm ready to see what's in store, because I don't, in terms of directors signed on to do video game adaptations, I don't know if I've seen.
Yeah, that's the problem. They never sign. I don't want to say never sign good talent, but usually they don't put much into the filmmaker side. I think they like to have people that they can kind of push around and sort of impose their own will. We made the game. That's the problem with all video game adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give them the freedom they need. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll be seeing this one in theaters when it comes out. If it does,
if it does. I just want to let everybody know that today I cut my finger on, how you have the aluminum foil package.
Oh my gosh.
It has a little serrade so you can rip it off. I reached in a drawer and I cut my finger on that.
Dude, what'd you do to treat it?
I'll let my dog lick it.
Wow.
Anyways, before I lose my finger, we should move on to the next topic. I don't really care about this topic, to be honest. But Rob Liefeld, who is the infamous creator of Deadpool, the comic character, he has come out and said that the X-Force movie that was originally going to be released by Fox, built up by Deadpool 2, is canned. He says that thanks to the merger between Fox and Disney, the X-Force film is no longer a thing. And to be honest, I don't really care. How do you feel about that, G?
Yeah, this is actually just something. I wasn't even even when the news sort of broke out, I wasn't really
no
even intrigued in the slightest. I'm like, okay, they'll make it, and
the reason for me is I remember going to see Deadpool, and I think Deadpool's a really good film, and I've seen it quite a few times, but then and even Deadpool 1 I have a hard time watching sometimes. I do think that its rewatchability isn't very good. I know a lot of people would argue that, like, the jokes are hilarious and all. Yeah, but it's pretty slow. The love part of it kind of slows it down for me, going back and forth and back and forth.
Wait, for the first Deadpool?
Yeah, the first
Oh,
Deadpool.
okay.
That's just how I feel personally. I think it's a great watch the first time, the first 2 times, but after that, for me personally, it kind of died. Then by the time I saw Deadpool 2, I was very excited for it, and it just didn't land the way I wanted it to. I think it's a good film. I think there's great humor in it and all. I just, for whatever reason, didn't really latch onto it. And maybe that's just me liking more seriousness in these kind of films, which some people may also think is ridiculous, but it's just my personal opinion. So when we get around to having a possible X-Force movie,
Exactly.
I mean, it's just going to be the same thing to me. I don't know. I get it. I get the jokes. They're funny and all. I don't know. I'm more interested in X-Men than X-Force.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the same sort of thing. I was about to say, yeah, the rewatchability of these two movies isn't that strong for me. Like, yeah, the jokes like, of course they landed the first time when we were just like unfamiliar, and yeah, Deadpool made a lot of money.
Oh, I did buy Deadpool 2. I didn't know.
Yeah, I think you did get that one.
Just, to collect.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the same sort of thing. Rewatchability is not that much, and it's like, yeah, because there's not just like a lot at stake, and it's like,
yeah, there's not much at stake, and I get that it's a comedy.
yeah,
But I do wish that they I don't know. And I get it. That's what you do for Deadpool. I think they nailed Deadpool
yeah,
perfectly. Ryan Reynolds is perfect casting. They do a great job making these films. It just doesn't really pander to my tastes overall. Like, I mean, I could watch The Winter Soldier every day for a month. I can't do that with Deadpool.
yeah.
And that's just personally. Some people would rather watch Deadpool for a month straight than Winter Soldier, It's a great thing about being a film fan. It's all subjective.
Of course, and so ultimately, for us, I guess,
bring on the X-Men reboot. I don't need the X-Force.
And so yeah, not too much to say on this topic.
Another one coming up, hot off the press. Not really, actually. It's kind of old, but how do we feel about the Oscars situation with the hosting? For me, the Oscars are definitely maybe my favorite night of the year. I love the Oscars. Unapologetically, I love everything about them. I know people are like, it's just people in Hollywood patting each other on the back, but I don't care. I think that it's a great ceremony. It's celebrating the thing that I spend the most time of the year doing, which is watching movies. It celebrates excellence in film, and it's just kind of a great show. It's something I dream about, personally, in my own, my own hopes and dreams. I dream all the time about being able to go up on that stage one day, and I think that you see a lot of people where, yeah, sure, it's self-congratulatory and all that, but these are all people who have the same dream, Maybe they've been up there a bunch of times, but it's always special seeing, like, Guillermo del Toro take the stage and accept a Best Picture Oscar. That's a really special moment. It means a lot.
Yeah.
To people, these films, they affect people, and that leads me to my idea that the Oscars really do need a host for me. I'm going to watch them regardless. I know some people are like, well, if there's no host, I'm not even going to watch the show. But for me personally, I'm going to watch it. I just love the idea of having hosts. I think that it is kind of in the show's DNA. I understand why nobody would want the job right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I know it wouldn't be like, oh, wow, this is going to help us out. But I don't know. Just tell Jimmy Kimmel to do it again.
Yeah, because I was thinking, yeah, in terms of the situation, it's kind of risky for, I guess, some people to take the job. But yeah, it's like I don't even know how to prepare for this. I don't even know if I've ever seen like any sort of like show or award show that's
without a host.
Yeah, like because I'm like I don't know. Like I think they said like something about musical performances will sort of.
Well, they're gonna have all the presenters, kind of usher it into the next part and usher it into the next part, which I think can work fine.
Because I mean, like it's the host does have a rather important job.
I love watching the host. I love seeing the monologue.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I love hearing the jokes. They kind of dictate the pace, and if it's just thinking about some of the presenters they have sometimes, I'm not trying to be ageist here, but sometimes some of those old people they don't even know what they're doing.
We're just reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think that's a unique point that you bring up in the sense of, think about all the things that we'll miss in terms of jokes that could be made of the movies that came out.
Yeah, there's jokes, and not only that, but sometimes you have presenters that don't move the show forward very well, and a lot of times the host is who comes in and sort of sheds light on it all and just keeps the energy up, and I don't know. I guess we'll see. I just don't. I mean, yeah, like I remember you can have Justin Timberlake start off the show with "Can't Stop the Feeling," whatever he does, but then when he finishes the performance, what are you gonna do? And the award for is that it?
Yeah, we'll see what they do. This
Yeah,
is a rather.
Guess.
Yeah.
Just look, my number is I won't say that right here, but you can email me, and I'll consider doing the show myself. I don't have a tuxedo though, so I hope they budget for that.
Maybe a rental.
You don't think they'd buy me one?
No.
Oh. Never mind. I don't want to do it. I just wanted a free tux.
Wow. Wow, you're going to free... You
as long as the Muppets don't host, I'm okay. I don't know why everybody's like, the Muppets should host. The Muppets should host. No. That might get me to not watch it. That might get me to boycott the damn show. But yeah, Are you ready to move on to the next topic of the day?
I think I am.
Do you know what the next topic is?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, you should have known.
I'm ready on the draw.
Quick draw McGraw over here, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you're quick enough for these. I was trying to think of some cool transition, and it just didn't come. So I'm just gonna go into the question. I'm really sorry, everybody. Sorry, Mom. Christopher McQuarrie signed on. He signed on to do the next two Mission Impossible films that will shoot back-to-back Lord of the Rings style and be released within a year of each other in 2021 and 2022, respectively. I love this choice.
Yeah.
Because that guy, he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wonderful collaborator with Tom Cruise. But my question for you is, do you think that it is smart for the franchise to stick with the same voice? Or are you in the camp that would like to see them keep getting a new director? Because no directors ever came back in this franchise before McQuarrie, who delivered on his second attempt as well as his first. So you have the idea that, okay, he's delivered twice. Why not keep him? Which I think is a great idea. But you also have the idea of, there was a difference between Fallout and what was the last one?
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. Yeah, they were very different tonally, which I enjoy quite a bit.
There's that point that you're bringing up.
But do you think that we should have a different director?
Now, I think I was about to say who did 4, 5, and we know who did 6.
We have different. Well, no, 5 and 6 was both McQuarrie. Then 4 was Brad Bird.
Yeah.
3 was J.J. Abrams, and we won't talk about 1 and 2.
So J.J. Abrams, Brad Bird. And then
McQuarrie.
Rogue Nation and Fallout were done by McQuarrie, and now he's
going to do 6 and 7.
Yeah.
No, 7 and 8.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's a very safe choice. That's what I mostly got out of it, because it's he's delivered on the past 2 Mission Impossible movies. So
I will say that safe is not the word I will use. I don't think it's a safe choice because this man allowed Tom Cruise to hang out of a helicopter and do flips over a mountain.
Okay.
You let him do 100 Halo jumps. You let him strap to an airplane. It is not a safe choice.
Okay, I guess safe in terms of...
a lot of directors would not have the stomach to allow Tom Cruise to do those stunts.
Yeah.
Which is why I am on board with this.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, he'll let Tom Cruise jump out of a spaceship in 0 gravity and maybe not even come back into the atmosphere or the orbit if it means getting a good shot. And no, I do not want Tom Cruise to die shooting these movies, but
hey, well, this is why they
trust him.
This is why they make those big bucks.
My fear with getting another director is that one, maybe they wouldn't, because I think that we have a rare thing that we have a director that can go toe to toe with Tom Cruise as far as ideas go. He's not intimidated because Tom Cruise is he's a big name, and he knows it, and he has a lot of ideas. He's a producer on these films, which means he can call a lot of shots. But McQuarrie is someone who Tom Cruise definitely respects, you know?
Mm.
And if you had a new director come in, maybe he's like, no, we probably should shoot that on a green screen. That might ruin the franchise.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. And the thing that usually I would go with, like, oh, get a new voice, you know? But the reason I don't is that because I think McQuarrie has proven from 5 and 6 that are very tonally different that he can, and he said it in the special features on one of the great special features on the Blu-ray, that he really wanted to make a point to make sure that they felt different. And I think they very much do feel different. I think that Fallout is like the Empire Strikes Back to Rogue Nation's A New Hope, I guess. It's very dark, you know? It's darker in tone, it's more serious, and all of that. So that's why I am very on board with this. I think we'll still get something different in Mission Impossible 8.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was, saying in terms of safe in the metaphorical sense, not in the literal sense, because I'm like, like from everything that one hears from Fallout, and what for those who have seen Fallout, how do they continue to push?
What time you want to drive a car off a cliff, fall into the water, and then try and escape while you're in the seatbelt?
Yeah,
and just film and see what happens? They'd probably say okay.
So it's like, I don't know how they're gonna, how when we talk about Tom Cruise doing 100+ Halo
they're gonna
jumps,
fly to the moon, I think, and then he's gonna base jump to the Earth.
and that's what gives Mission Impossible, this, this shock and awe factor where it's like they're just doing it all live, real stunts.
Do it live,
and it's like, and then they have Christopher McQuarrie, who's on board and respects Tom Cruise, so.
And Tom Cruise respects him.
Yeah, and I'm happy with so I'm happy, and we also gotten the tone shift from 5 and 6.
And if you see the Blu-ray, they're both against motion blur.
Oh yeah, very true. So because they both understand, what they're trying to make here and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm on board with that. I
think McQuarrie earned it as well
exactly.
with these two films.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Oh yeah, I'm on board.
You think Ethan Hunt's gonna die?
Now, see, I don't know. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, we'll do that later. Well, I'll ask you that again in 2021.
Yeah. I'll put that on my calendar.
Now, the next topic is something that I would like to rant on for a while. I don't know if I'm going to. But Skydance Animation has the gall to hire John Lasseter as head of animation.
Oof. I heard about this.
Shame on them, I wrote in the notes. What the hell? I mean, this guy is released from Pixar for poor conduct in the workplace. This guy is a creep. If you've read some of the stories and testimonies, they're pretty gross. The guy is, he's fantastic at what he does, sure. He gave us a lot of great animated films, Toy Story, a lot of Pixar, pretty much all of Pixar. But especially in today's climate for film, business-wise, I don't know if this is good or bad, because the fact is a lot of the general movie-going audience for his films are parents, and they're not, most of them aren't like, oh, who was the studio head that made this Frosty and the Snowman movie or whatever, who made Trolls? They don't care. They see Trolls, their kid wants to see it, they take them,
Yeah.
And so it may be a lucrative decision for them. But I can tell you that I will personally not go see any of their movies if I have a choice. I will not. I think that this is a pretty low move for them. I know that I wouldn't be surprised if there's people, especially, personally, if I had the option, I know it's a tough business and all, but if I could find work somewhere else, I would. I would not want to work for this man. I know a lot of people wouldn't. I'm sure Me Too is going to be trying to do their best to get people, if there are any women in those offices that want to work somewhere else. Maybe they'll give them assistance, maybe opportunity. This bothers me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he released a statement like, for the last year, I took some classes on how to be better in the... I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You blew it. You're rich. You don't need money. Yeah, I just don't have sympathy for this guy, to be honest.
Yeah. Especially, it's like you hit it on the
nail on the head?
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because in the sense of, in today's climate, in terms of,
Of all the people?
yeah, of all the people.
Less than a year later?
Yeah, and the fact that he just says like, "Oh, I took classes," like,
No, you didn't. You were sipping Mai Tais on the beach.
because the thing is, how could you how do you know that he did that, through his own will?
Exactly.
Like, he did that because he just wanted to restore his image
Exactly.
and reputation, just to get back in the.
Yeah,
you
what
know,
do you think's gonna? There's no difference. I'm sorry, but there's no. Especially, it's like that's not even. That's like a slap on the wrist. It's like taking
Yeah,
a
yeah.
vacation.
Exactly.
All he did was take a break.
Yeah. You just literally take a break just to wait until your name gets out
Not
of
my
the.
floors. I don't know.
It's- Yeah, it's just like like to think about like all this other talent that could be out there that could be.
Yeah,
in its
is he
place.
really the only option you have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like his movies. Yeah, his movies were good and
They're
Pixar,
fantastic.
but it does not excuse.
And I like to try and put the art before the artist sometimes. And I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like a lot of times, people hypothetically. Let me just throw Woody Allen out there because that guy's an asshole. But I like his movies, but I don't regard them as his movies anymore. I still like to
Exactly.
watch some of his movies, but I think there's a lot of great performances from a lot of great people. And I like to admire what they did without. I'm not gonna give that guy credit.
yeah,
But I can still acknowledge that it's a good movie, and I don't think me watching it is going to change anything, to be
Yeah.
honest. But and I'm still gonna. It's not like I'm not gonna watch Toy Story or anything like that. But moving forward, I'm not gonna support this guy.
yeah,
That's just how I feel. I hope that they suffer because of this move. I think it was a pretty weak, dumb-headed move. Yeah, I don't know. I think that he should. I don't know. I don't think he should be the head of anything. I think that he's shown that he can't be trusted with any kind of power over people.
yeah. Like, see, that's what's like so baffling. I'm like, from all the reports you've heard about him and the way he, his conduct in the work environment, you really think a couple of classes are just gonna like automatically be like,
No,
hey.
that was like he probably wasn't even listening if he even took them.
Yeah. So it's like, and plus, like, what are these classes anyways?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like, you
I
just
took some classes on
Yeah.
how to be better. So what?
like, you could just you could be in the room but
Yeah.
not care. Like, you could just be there just to clear up your name. But yeah, that was a poor move on their part.
I think a lot of people go to traffic school. Do you think they stop speeding? Probably not.
Exactly.
It's like, now here's some really disturbing images. This is what can happen when you speed. Like, okay, yeah, can I get it wiped off my record now? Good. Okay, now I'm going 95 home. Like, I don't know. It bothers me. I'd like to say more, but I like to keep the show G-rated or at least PG-13 rated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John Lasseter can go I don't know, screw off.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I think-
Anyways, I want to this. I should have rearranged these topics because these last couple are really weighing on me. The Ninja Turtles,
what-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are getting a reboot, which at first glance may seem exciting until you read more into it. It may be shooting at the end of 2019, and here's the ringer. Here's what gets me going. Michael Bay's coming back to produce.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Of all things, of all.
Yeah, take a
Yeah,
breath.
Take a breath.
Yeah, take a breath.
Look, if there's anything Michael Bay has proven, is that he cannot be trusted with a franchise. He ran the Turtles into the ground. He didn't even get him a good liftoff because you know what? People were still going to Transformers movies, but at declining rates. And they were saying, you know what? I still want to see Optimus because I kind of liked him when I was 12, and now I'm 18, and I still want to see what happens because I'm kind of attached.
Yeah.
But with the Ninja Turtles, people are like, well, you know what? They see the Michael Bay name. They see the weird-looking turtles. Why would I go see that movie? And why should you? They're terrible.
Yeah.
I watched them, and I didn't have a terrible time with the first. The second one was an insult. I was at the
about to
theater
say-
by myself.
I have not seen the second
Opening night, 7 p.m., Edwards. I was by myself in that theater. Alone. Actually, it was 5 o'clock. They did an early one because it's a kids' movie, kind of, Atrocious. Insulting to the audience. It was horrendously written.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. So, what did Michael Bay do?
He produced the Turtles films.
The other two, right?
Yes.
And so what we're getting
And
here.
yes. Is a reboot with Michael Bay still behind the wheel.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
Yeah, that's like
It's like, you know what? The fans didn't like garbage, so what are we going to do? We're going to change the truck and let the same man drive. Feed him the garbage again.
Yeah, it just makes you think again, like, what are these studios doing?
I mean, they made a whole new label. They're like, now we're All Spark Productions.
Oh, yeah.
So? You still have Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they feel it in the box office. Like, because I mean, like you said, for what is it, Out of the Shadows?
Whatever the hell it is.
Like, you were the only one. I mean,
it was in one of the big auditoriums.
Yeah.
I was alone.
Yeah, and so hopefully it hurts them in the box office.
That was atrocious.
Because I'm surprised how did they not get the message?
I don't know. Michael Bay's like, hey, come on, guys. I got my own editing bay at home. You don't even got to pay an editor. I'll do it on my own while I watched, I don't know, these.
Yeah.
It's a guy that doesn't seem like he cares at all.
Wait, like, what was the whole point of the second one? Because I did not see that one.
I don't remember.
For that exact reason.
I know that they curved us with Splinter. Stephen Amell was in it, but wasted.
Oh, yeah.
Some WWE superstars were in it. They were atrocious. I mean, atrocious. I know I use that word a lot, but like, if there's a really proper way to use atrocious, it would be those two characters in the Ninja Turtles sequel.
Yeah.
Look, I would rather have my pug produce this film than Michael Bay.
Like, it's. Sometimes we just have to really like sit down and think, like, out of all the people out there, like, with this whole Travis Knight thing that just
seriously,
like,
I know Michael Bay was still a producer on that, but that was a formality.
Yeah,
that's not like he did not have his hands on that movie.
Like, do they respect audiences? Do they listen to audience members when they
like? Well, Michael Bay sure made us a lot of money. Yes, but it's going down each time.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not a good business decision.
And it's like, they're going to see the name Michael Bay, and then they're going to think, is this the third, or what?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened to the Turtles? Maybe they'll look all different.
That's a good point, because, like, a lot of audience people...
Everybody's going to be confused.
Yeah, and then, based on what you're telling us with the second release, what would motivate them to see this, quote-unquote, third release, and most people wouldn't even see it as a reboot.
I don't want to be the only one in there again.
And think about that. It'll be... Audience members would be even more confused. Like, what, they're babies and we're getting this like origin story? Like, didn't we already get that?
Do they have noses this time?
Exactly. So
I don't know. Michael Bay is something else. Go make another war movie. I like 13 Hours. Although it still had the Bayisms in it.
Yeah.
The big, like, 4 spark explosions. In a nice straight line.
It's just like, it's just like a big slap to the face. There's all this talent out there.
Michael Bay showed, like, just seeing all his films are all. It's like, how much effort is he putting in?
Yeah.
Not very much.
Exactly. Yeah.
From my audience point of view, it doesn't look like he puts much into it. He like shows up on set. He's probably an asshole to his crew. And that's it.
I don't even know. I don't think I've ever met I mean, I'm sure you have, based on, your time spent on the internet looking at comments. I don't think I've met or talked to any Michael Bay fans, really.
I have.
Because in the sense of, okay, war movies, I guess that's his shtick,
I mean, is it? He made one.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's his best movie of, maybe my favorite of his. The Rock is okay.
The Island? Is that a
no,
movie?
it is a Michael Bay film, but no.
I haven't seen that one.
The first time I saw that was in freshman high school biology.
What?
Yeah.
That's I'll ask a question.
I don't know what the implications of that were.
Yeah, this is exactly.
I didn't learn anything besides I was still very attracted to Scarlett Johansson, and Obi-Wan wasn't in Star Wars. That's all I learned.
Yeah, but I don't even know what to say about this. You won't catch me in the theater for that one. But
miss me with that Bay stuff. Paraphrase there.
Basically.
Next one is a little intriguing to me. We're almost to the end of this episode. Final Destination is getting a reboot from Saw producers and writers. I believe the writers who wrote the last 3 Saw films, which isn't very encouraging as far as from a writer's standpoint. Okay, if this was James Wan attached,
yeah,
I would be head over heels.
Exactly.
I actually enjoy the first. I haven't seen Final Destination in quite a while. I think the last time I saw any of them, I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how old I am, that's a good, I mean, I was probably 16 when I saw the last Final Destination that I watched.
In theaters?
I've seen two
Oh.
Final Destination movies in theaters.
I don't think I've seen any in theaters. I've seen
Neither of
on
them were
TV.
good. I like the first, and I like the premise of it. I think it's a cool idea. You know what Final Destination is,
Oh,
right?
of course, yes,
Okay.
I do.
I think it's a cool premise.
Yeah.
It's a fun, fun, ridiculous horror premise.
Yeah.
So I think it's a property that's kind of ripe to be rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know about this team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna be another one of those dumb, over the top gore fests.
Yeah. Again, it's just I don't understand. Like, what did they see?
And I don't have a problem with gore.
Yeah.
Just not when it's used poorly. Like if it's used justly, I'm good. I'm on
Yeah.
board. But with Saw, that's just torture porn at this point. All Saw is torture porn with a bad story.
Pretty
And
much.
that's how I feel this is gonna pan out, honestly. With the team we have right now,
Mm-hmm.
what's the difference?
Yeah, and it just makes it like, again, why them? What did they see?
They
Why-
probably, I mean, it's the studios. They're like, well, these guys have turned in a couple decent-ish box office receipts. The thing with horror that I hate, that's why we get so much bad horror, in my opinion. Well, not entirely. One, I love horror. I love horror, the genre. But I think that in a studio setting, a lot of times, you make these horror movies for 5-10 million. I mean, obviously you're going to turn a profit. It's like, well, they made 30 million, so we should just throw them another one. No! I mean, maybe if they deserve it, but if they're making bad films, anyone can turn a profit on a $5 million horror film,
Yeah.
The difference is when you have someone really talented. Look at Jordan Peele. I mean, I know it's an anomaly, but still, he made a great film for $5 million, and it made over $100 million.
Yeah,
That is a big deal.
yeah. And then, yeah, I think I remember seeing a little bit of an interview with him, and he was talking about like how, it's kind of difficult to get original projects off just going
Yeah.
off, because studios, you have to convince the studios
Of course.
with this idea that you have, and to say like, yeah, this will make you a lot of money, but then it's them. So
That's all. Seriously, I've read a good amount of screenwriting books at this point, probably about 6. And they're always saying, because there's always a section about how to sell your script, how to converse with Hollywood, and it's always like you need to make sure they feel that they can bank on
Yeah.
this idea.
exactly.
Which is sad. But the cool thing about horror is most of it's lower budget, so you can take more chances.
Yeah, like Blumhouse, A24.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But the thing is, I'm tired of getting spoon-fed this trash.
Yeah, and the audience, will probably get a decent money.
Yeah,
out
they're
of
gonna
this.
get money back. It's got a recognizable name.
Mm-hmm.
It has a cult fan base, and it's horror, so you're gonna make money. You give them a good trailer, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
I just don't want more of the same. It's a cool idea. You can do a lot of things with it. The
Yeah.
doors are wide open. I just feel like we're not gonna get those doors open very much more. They're just gonna kind of give it to us at face value. This is Final Destination. They're pretty basic kills, and there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of some in the top.
I remember like the last one was like 3D. No. I don't need. That's the worst use of 3D. Those horror movies where it's like, here's a saw blade moving very slowly towards your face.
Oh,
Here's a very slowly moving nail.
yeah.
It's like instead of just making it 3D, it's like, look guys, this scene is 3D. This scene is 3D. Wow, look, this thing's coming at you. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
But I got a cool story at the end. I might try and close something out. Actually, I do have another story that I want to tag on. But Coming to America 2, something I surely did not expect, and something I'm not sure if the world wants or needs. Coming America 2 is confirmed to be happening, with Eddie Murphy returning to star. Have you seen Coming to America?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. I will say that it is hilarious. Eddie Murphy was at his peak, and I do not think that in these times it is appropriate.
Oh, well, yeah.
So my question, like, Eddie Murphy is known to have a sense of humor that is, pun intended, raw. Have you seen Eddie Murphy's Raw stand-up?
I think I have. It's a long time ago.
I think that current Hollywood would shrivel up if they watched that thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen some tidbits.
Yeah,
on YouTube,
it's funny for the time, but it doesn't hold up very well.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, now that you're saying
Because
that.
I remember watching it when I was like a young teenager, and I thought it was hilarious. And then I was watching it probably a year back. It was like last summer. I was like, some of this is, I don't know. It shows its age. I'll just say that. I don't know how well they're going to be able to bring us back into this while trying to make and one thing that I do believe is that comedians get too much too much flack, because I think comedy is kind of the one place where you should be able to make fun of serious topics and all that kind of stuff without. I don't think comedians should get a lot of repercussions, like for a joke they said on stage 5 years ago, or whatever. It's a joke. Sometimes, it's so. You try doing stand-up, those people that criticize, oh, he made a gay joke or whatever. I find, and no offense to anyone who's gay or anything, but I find a lot of people are often, they're often trying to stand up for people they don't even represent. They're getting mad for someone else. And I think comedy is suffering because of that. But anyways, I'm not sure how this is going to work.
Yeah, that's what I was about
I'm
to
not
say.
sure how this movie's going to work.
Yeah, like, based on what you're telling me, yeah, like, well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
What's
it'll be just a fun old time like Beverly Hills Cop, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
I was about to say, like, where the heck has Eddie Murphy been?
I think he can't speak anymore after that movie.
Oh
Was it?
my gosh.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
Oh, I know that movie.
Oh,
Was it
what was
1,000
it?
Words or something?
Yeah, 1,000 Words. I think he went method, and he just can't speak anymore, so he's been gone. And then someone finally told him, like, Eddie, that was just a film. You're done. What?
Yeah.
That's it. He's back.
Yeah. Well,
Comedy.
I
We'll
did,
see.
I did see the box office for Aquaman.
Oh, Cross a Billy.
I did.
We're up
First
there.
DC,
Aquaman.
First DC EU movie.
Yep, and it is it's past The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
So clearly it must be a better film, right? I saw that all over the internet. That's ridiculous. I've been watching The Dark Knight quite often.
Oh, I think
Which
that's
I'm known
another
to do.
level.
It is literally near perfect.
Yeah.
It's like I challenge anyone to watch The Dark Knight and tell me one wasted frame. If you can find me okay, look. If anyone can go watch The Dark Knight and send me one wasted scene, I'll send you a movie. I will send you a movie. It is impossible. That film is so impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
Find me a scene that doesn't matter, and I will send you a Blu-ray tomorrow. Count on that.
Wow. Well, I guess, what if they perceive a certain scene to be wasted?
Well, guess what, G? In my opinion, it might not be.
Then I was like, how's this going to work?
Look, if we have a dispute,
Mm.
I will flip my lucky coin.
Your lucky coin.
Yep, same one Two-Face used.
Well, clearly that was just all one coin, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah.
both sides heads?
No,
Or one side was
one
like,
side is black.
oh yeah, blacked.
All dirty,
Mhm.
infected.
Yeah, but James Wan, I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, I feel great. I hope he gets to do a sequel.
Yeah.
I just want to see more James Wan. But we have an exciting thing to talk about on this show, something that we never get to talk about on this show. Yes, we do a whole show about it every Thursday, but guess what? Finally, on the Fanema Movie Podcast, we get to talk about Star Wars, and it is a non-story, and I don't care. John Boyega posted a picture of his hands. They looked a little dirty. And let me read it to you, actually. Let me pull this thing up. Gee, can you tell the good people a joke while I pull this thing up?
All right. Kind of put me on the spot here. But, do you know,
Can you sing a song?
that's gonna,
Oh, Susanna, won't you? Where is it? Oh, my goodness.
oh yeah, you
Who
heard
is
about
this? Finn Beals? I typed in Finn.
Wow, get your too much into Star Wars.
Okay, here we go. It's a picture of his hands. It looks like that may actually be blood on his thumb. It's definitely blood. He's all dirty. He's been putting in work. Great working today on set. The whole team pushed themselves today to achieve something visually crazy. I've had many moments of shock on set, but not like today, and I can't wait until you know why. Eyes peering over to the right emoji, 2 hands in the air, hashtag FN2187. What does this tell me, G? Absolutely nothing. Besides, he's getting a little dirty on this movie, and I am down. I was watching The Last Jedi today, and I am so beyond pumped. Look, Finn is going to be back in the heart of the film with Rey. They are finally going to show us what it's like when someone lets free a spark that will light the fire that will burn the First Order to the ground.
And there's no stopping him.
There is no stopping him, and there's no stopping me on this rant to close out the show. There is nothing like FN2187, Finn, and Rey together. Together they can achieve anything. They could conquer the galaxy if they'd like, but they are on the light side, and what they're going to do is leave the world in a better place than they found it.
It brings me back to, like, you know, the thing that Kevin Smith said, you know, when he went to visit set, and he said, like, you know, for Star Wars standards, because they're a separate set of standards there in terms of what they do on the screen and what they can do with their budget.
Mm-hmm.
That he's seen some things that has blown his mind on a Star Wars level. So it's like, and that combined with, you know, even though this tells us really nothing,
Do you think Rey grows 2 more arms and starts fighting with 4 sabers?
Force arms.
No.
What? How does that work?
Actually, organic arms.
Like Grievous?
No, but they're real.
How does that work?
Surgery?
You think they got that?
I don't know. You're the medical guy here. You're the medical professional. You tell me.
Well, in Star Wars universe, I don't know how, you know, they got that Bacta stuff.
Yeah,
that's all
maybe.
they use.
You might be able to just stick it on. Anyways, I hope not, because I think Rey is perfectly fine as she is. Let me rant again real quick. Look, going into episode 9, I am not prepared. I will need Depends. I will need tissues. I will need party poppers for the end. I'm going to be wilding out in that theater. Look, if he's putting... Oh, wait. What if I'm reading too far into this post?
Here we go.
Hashtag FN2187. Finn confirmed, returning to the dark side. He's been an inside man since the beginning. We just did not see it. Snoke has planted his seed inside of Finn's head as he was sliced by Kylo Ren. He transferred his consciousness into the body of Finn. And that is how the First Order wins. What do you think?
Wow. That's a bit of a stretch there.
Do you think I need to email Lucasfilm?
You know, I feel like
that they need to put a tighter grip on John Boyega because he just spoiled the whole film in that hashtag?
I feel like you have George Lucas on speed dial. So.
Yeah, I bought him a Coke Zero one time and he won't leave me alone.
Yeah, so I think
if anybody listening hasn't seen the SNL skit with George Lucas, Bobby Monahan, do it. It is special. But yeah, do you have anything you want to add? Let me ask you something, G. Tell the good people one movie they should go home and watch right now.
The Prestige.
The Prestige. Why?
Christian Bale.
Christopher Nolan.
Hugh Jackman.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that's all you need.
What else? Can you name another?
Who's the guy that plays...
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, he was in there. What was the other guy?
Nikolai Tesla?
Yeah, who played him? Someone famous. Someone rather big played him. I forget who.
Yeah. It was oh my gosh. It was oh man.
Was it David Bowie? I don't know.
It was David Bowie. Yes,
Yeah.
David Bowie played Nikolai Tesla, and you know who else was in there? A very underrated actor.
Well, Michael Caine, you know.
How do you say his name?
Michael Caine.
Can you say it with an accent now?
Well, it depends on what kind of accent.
Cockney.
No.
Can you say it in a Punjabi accent?
I don't even know how to even go about that.
Can you try?
Absolutely not.
Okay. But I was looking for Rebecca Hall.
Oh yeah.
She's fantastic in everything she's in.
What about you?
What's
a movie?
What's a movie I recommend?
Yeah, people should go see right now.
Gone Baby Gone. Great for the whole family. Watch it with the kid. Do not do that. I'm sorry. Do not do that. I hope nobody's show cut off. Chef. Watch Chef with
John.
John Turturro.
Well,
No. Go watch Chef with Jon Favreau. It's a great film. It's about family. It's kind of an analogy for filmmaking
Cubanos.
or a lot of things. It's got Cubanos in there. He's got a lot of things. He runs a food truck. He's fantastic.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, she's in there. Robert Downey Jr. is also in the film, and he is also great.
Scarlett Johansson. They're all in
Scarlett Johansson is also in the movie. You're right. And Bobby Cannavale, another underrated actor.
there. Yep.
And John Leguizamo.
Oh my god.
Look, the list goes on. Now, G, you know how we're going to close out this show?
How?
You name a film, and we're both going to name actors until we can't. I actually will name the film. I'm sorry. I'm going to take over. Inception. Go.
Tom Hardy.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow, you go with the easiest one. Ellen Page.
Oh. Really? That's what you're going to do?
I remember, yeah.
What was her name?
I don't remember her name in the movie.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Who else was on that team? I forget the Asian actor. He's so famous.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies.
Clearly not famous enough.
He's in Godzilla.
What's his name?
I forget his name.
You want me to go again?
Yeah.
Then you look. Come on. You got another one.
No.
Come
I'm
on.
thinking about the team.
Constant collaborator of Christopher Nolan. What's his name? He's in a lot of his films.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's his name? I know who you're
I
talking
know you
about.
do. He says, "Where are we headed?" Then the other guy says, "Dunkirk." What's his name? He's also in The Dark Knight. He's also in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. I just forget his name.
Ah!
What's his name?
Come on. Okay, I'll name another, and then you try and think. What about Marion Cotillard?
Oh, yeah. She was there.
Uh-huh. And Cillian Murphy.
And that was his name, yeah.
I won this round. Let's just start. We're going to do this every week from now on. So I am 1-0.
Oh
Let's
my
mark it down.
God.
I am 1-0. Once the winner, whoever gets to 5 first, will win a brand. We're playing for pink slips.
Name the actors in Kalhonaho.
Kalhono?
Go.
Amir Khan. Wait, no, that's a boxer. Oh, what's his
You're
name?
already gonna lose.
Not Irfan Khan. What's his
Oh my
name?
God.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all are seeing.
Wait a minute. I know this. You know this.
I knew you were.
Kalhono.
You're not gonna get it.
What's his name? His last name is Khan.
And that is true.
Oh my gosh. He's like the most famous.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, Irfan Khan's better. Let's just get that out of the way. I watched a Netflix film of his. It was a bad movie, but he's really good in it. Of Irfan Khan, not this other fake Khan.
I thought you said you were gonna ask me a question. You never did.
What's the guy's name from Kalhonaho?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan. Damn it. Okay, I got a question for you. Who wins in a fight? Mowgli as a child? Or a full-grown Bengal tiger?
Oh man.
Huh?
No, I'm gonna have to go with the full-grown.
Yeah, he
Bengal
would
tiger.
eat him.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
that's what I was
It's a
thinking.
ridiculous story.
Wow. Don't you have, like, ever believe in a little magic?
No.
Okay.
It's time for the Fanema Movie Podcast to end. Bye.